Seriously, Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
I want to pose a question to the man who thought it was cool to stand in front of a crowd and disparage Michelle Obama, and to anyone in the audience who laughed when they should have been embarrassed. Let me ask you this. Do you think you could ever do what she's done? Could you graduate from Princeton University? Not just attend, graduate. Could you earn a law degree from Harvard? Could you build a successful career as an attorney? Could you launch initiatives that encouraged healthier lifestyles for millions of children? Could you write a best-selling book, fill arenas with people who want to hear you speak and inspire young women around the world? Could you do that? Could you do any of that? See, it's just so weird to me that after that guy's peak performance, the first thing he thought about is the first lady from 10 years ago having a penis. That's weird. See, for years, people have mocked her looks, questioned her femininity, spread ugly rumors, called her names. Yeah, I can't remember a single time she ever lowered herself to their level. Instead, you know what she did? She gave us one of the most famous responses to hate ever spoken. What she say? She said, when they go low, we go high. Think about that. Now let's play your game for a moment, okay? Let's make an imaginary woman. Let's make her blonde. I know you like that. Let's give her blue eyes. Let's make her skin alabaster white. Let's change every feature until she perfectly matches your personal definition of beauty. And then let's give this imaginary woman all of Michelle's accomplishments. So here's my question to you, boo. Do you honestly think you'd have a chance with a woman like that? Do you in your wildest dreams think you could pull that? A woman who's brilliant, accomplished, educated, influential, interesting, successful. A woman with dignity and grace. A woman admired by millions across the globe. Do you think that any woman of that caliber would give you the time of day? Do you really believe she would? Do you really believe she'd find anything interesting about you, anything at all? And if you say yes, you're delusional, right? Not because of politics either, not because of race, because of caliber. Because a woman who has built something real, who has actually done something with her life, is not attracted to a small man like you. They are not drawn to men whose greatest accomplishment is a post-fight insult on a borrowed microphone. And the truth is, insults like this, they rarely tell us anything about the person being targeted. Very rarely. But they tell us everything about the person that's throwing out the insult. See, you can dislike someone's politics, okay? You can disagree with their opinion. That's fair game. But when your best argument is to attack a woman's appearance, her body, or her gender, baby, you've already lost, okay? And while some people spend their lives trying to tear her down, Michelle Obama keeps doing what she's always done. Baby, she's just rising up above it, going high. See, women like Michelle Obama don't spend their energy on people who aren't in their league. And that's probably why she'll be remembered long after the names of men and women, too, who insulted her are completely forgotten. I said what I said.
Calling Michelle Obama a former first lady, a man on live TV on the White House lawn is so insanely fucking disrespectful.
Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
This is not liberal snowflake propaganda. There is a big difference between what this UFC fighter did and a comedian telling an offensive joke. You go to a comedy show understanding that the boundaries are going to be pushed. That is literally their job. In the words of the great late Patrice O'Neal, half the room should be in utter disgust, shock, and fucking hating your guts, and the other half should be dying of laughter. And if this was a regular UFC fight in like Abu Dhabi or some bullshit and he got on the mic and said that, whatever. He's just rage baiting, trying to be controversial, you know, trying to be put on the next title card by Mr. Daddy Dana White. But you were on the White House lawn in an event that was already publicly ostracized because it feels like a circus act, but y'all are saying it represents freedom and everything that's good about America. Okay, cool. They were great fights, yes. But you're on the White House lawn and then you publicly insult a former first lady from 2 administrations ago? For fucking what? Roles reverse. What if the NBA in 8 years and 2 administrations hosts an NBA game on the White House lawn and then Victor Wembanyama gets on the mic and he says, yeah, well, Melania Trump, she's a dumb cow. That'd be fucked up.
I'm incredibly disappointed. I always try to take the high road, always try to justify certain things. But there's already a bunch of idiots that believe this. Black people, certain black idiots, certain white idiots, they believe that Michelle Obama is a man. And for that guy to be on the White House lawn property and scream out that Michelle Obama is a man is incredibly disappointing. The White House has yet to come out with an apology. They don't care. This is sad on so many levels. I don't even know what to. I don't even know what to say. I will say this, Michelle Obama, I apologize. I apologize that you have to endure so much racism, even after you are out of the White House and out of the scene and out of the camera's eye. You still have to endure racism. You still have to endure hate. Thank you. Thank you for everything that you've done for America. Barack, thank you for everything you've done for America and continue to do. Please don't let this, break you guys' spirits. I'm praying for you all, and I don't know.
I will never understand the obsession that some of these people have with the Obamas. Baby, it is going on almost 10 years since they have left the White House. And that UFC fighter on the White House lawn, where our former First Lady used to reside at a so-called 250 freedom celebration, yells out, she's a man. The disrespect that these people have towards the Obamas is sickening. It's disgusting. And you think this administration is going to denounce that man should not have said that? Do you think that they are going to apologize to the Obamas? No, they're not. Because this is a part of their agenda to spread hate. I blame every single person who organized this. They knew what they were doing. As in that Dana White man, Trump, and whomever else organized this. I'm sure they handpicked those men to be a part of that event. And you use your platform to say something like that. This country is a total embarrassment right now. It's a total embarrassment. And how can we move forward as a country under this administration when all they do is push hate? It's disgusting.
It's not just that the UFC fighter said Michelle Obama is a man. That's disgusting enough. But Trump apparently was right there. I didn't see it happen, but Apparently Trump was right there in the vicinity. Did he immediately grab the microphone and say, hey, that's not a good thing to say, that's a horrible thing to say? Do any of you remember what happened when Senator John McCain, when he was campaigning against Obama for the presidency, and a woman in the audience started to disparage Obama as a Muslim? John McCain went into the audience, physically took the microphone from the woman and said, no ma'am, Senator Obama is a good family man. We just happen to disagree about certain policies. Senator John McCain was a war hero and he had class. Donald Trump is a draft dodger who has no class, never has shown any class. And by the way, of course, Trump literally put down John McCain's service and said he was not a war hero because he was captured. As I've been saying for years, Donald Trump is a piece of shit. Oh, and by the way, it's now a couple of days later, the White House has still not pushed back on the Michelle Obama incident. How pathetic is that? How freaking pathetic.
Y'all, a UFC fighter just got on the microphone at the White House and announced that Michelle Obama is a man. Now, normally I would tell y'all that every day is a good day to learn something new, but unfortunately, this grown-ass man decided to use his moment in front of the entire country to remind us that access to a microphone and access to intelligence are not the same thing. Because imagine training your entire life getting to the White House, having millions of people potentially listening, and the thought that climbs out of your decrepit little brain is a Facebook conspiracy theory old enough to have a learner's permit. Now, that's crazy. But what's actually incredible is that Michelle Obama lives in your head rent-free longer than some people have been paying mortgages. And I think what really fascinates me is that every single time a man says that Michelle Obama is a man, I don't hear an insult, I hear surrender. I hear a man that's looking at a black woman that he can't diminish, outwork, outshine, outclass, and deciding that if he can't beat her, he'll revoke her membership card to the Womanhood Club. Because it's always been a game. Always. And as black women, we know that. The minute that a black woman gets too accomplished, too visible, too powerful, too admired, suddenly folks start pulling out microscopes and becoming biologists. Now everybody's a gender expert. Now everybody's conducting forensic investigations because they saw a woman's shoulders. But be serious. Some of y'all have spent more time studying Michelle's body than American history, and it shows. But here's the part that I need folks to understand. This is why trans people keep telling y'all that transmissia doesn't stay in its lane, and it never has. The same lie that they weaponize against trans women gets pointed back at black women every day. Because the center of both is one question. Do you look enough like a woman that I should treat you like a woman? That's it. That's the scam. The answer is always changing because some people are going to be too tall, too dark, too athletic. You're going to be too muscular, maybe even too loud, or hell, too ambitious or confident. Sometimes you're just too much of something. And the goalpost always moves because the goal was never accuracy. The goal was control. And Michelle has never been controllable. And that's what really fucks them up and grinds their gears. Not her arms or her height or her voice. It's her freedom. Michelle walked into the White House as a black woman from the south side of Chicago and became one of the most admired women on earth, and somehow never asked permission from the people who resent her. And that burns y'all bitches alive, because there are men who cannot process the fact that a black woman is extraordinary without some sort of conspiracy theory behind it. And that sounds like a personal problem, a severe one, the kind that might actually require professional intervention. Because if seeing Michelle Obama causes this much emotional distress, I don't think that Michelle is the issue. I think it's your self-esteem. And we can talk about how embarrassing it is that every single time these people try to bring a Michelle into it, the insult accidentally reveals what they think of trans women too. Because let's follow the logic. The only joke that works is if you actually think that being trans is humiliating. But if you don't, then it doesn't land. The joke only works if womanhood is something that can be taken away whenever a woman makes insecure people feel uncomfortable. And you can't. Not because the claim is believable, because it's not, but because Michelle Obama does not need defending. Trust me, she's just fine. It's a matter of the same poison gets poured into different cups. Sometimes it's aimed at trans women. Sometimes it's aimed at black women. Sometimes it's aimed at athletes. Sometimes it's aimed at anybody who refuses to shrink themselves for public consumption. The target always changes, just like the goalpost, and the hatred doesn't. And brother, if the biggest applause line that you think you could get at the White House was by spreading a rumor about the Michelle Obama, then I think that your career is struggling a lot more than being a half-assed athlete who could only afford to use his couple of seconds of fame to defame a black woman, or at least try. And until y'all realize that we are not to be fucked with or played, I'll wait. Because your mama look like a fucking man.
We all know about Sid's birthday, right? We know that it was rain, heat, and mosquitoes. We know that. Okay. Now, so the birthday bash happened. The UFC fight happened. Whatever that means is whatever it means. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to understand why That man, Josh Hokett, whatever his name is, got up there, won his fight, and felt the need to say that Michelle Obama was a man. That's all y'all got. Y'all ain't got nothing but these low-class insults. Well, I got a couple for you. Melania was a hoe. Melania was a hoe. We've seen the pictures. She was not a supermodel. That is a lie that they have been telling for years. Because there isn't one magazine cover, Vogue, Elle, Vanity Fair, Sports Illustrated, that she ever graced the cover of. She doesn't speak 7 languages. She can say hello in multiple languages. But I guess when you're a high-paid escort, you might need to. I'm just saying. Now, I know this is going to come off shocking to some people, but we're tired. We're tired. We're tired. Enough with the racist tropes, because our dear Michelle said, when they go low, we go high. No, baby. When they go low, I'm going to hell. That's it. I'm sorry if this offends people, but we're tired. I'm tired. We're all tired. Enough is enough. That's it. That's it. Because I am sick of the comparisons. Sick of the comparisons. This is racist supremacy behavior. You have a black woman, highly educated, constantly being compared to this white lady who's not even in the same, I can't even find the words, but enough is enough. And you know it's bad when you have other Republicans coming out and saying it was wrong, it was racist. Enough is enough. Tim Scott, where you at? What you got to say? Byron, what you got to say? Enough is enough. Okay, that's it. I'm done. Okay, bye.
Former UFC fighter Josh Hosky sparked controversy after referring to former First Lady Michelle Obama as a man during his public appearance. His remarks quickly spread across social media, drawing strong reactions from both supporters and critics. Calling the former First Lady Michelle Obama a man was so disrespectful and insulting. The Latino UFC fighter, in seizing his moment, chose to make a mockery of the former First Lady. This has sparked so much outrage among supporters and critics. The news has spread across social media like wildfire. Everybody is yet to understand the reason why he made such a statement.
So UFC fighter Josh Hokett, after his fight in the UFC 250 at the White House, went on live national television with Joe Rogan interview and called Michelle Obama a man. Made the disrespectful, disparaging comment by calling Michelle Obama a man. Joe Rogan didn't check him. Joe Rogan slick had a little smirk on his face. But Joe Rogan, you knew what he was about to say. You knew he was about to say something crazy. That should have been checked when he said it. Because I don't have to sit here and say what Michelle Obama means to the black community, magically melanated, AKA black community, what she means specifically to little black girls. Black women too, but little black girls. But not only that, to the black race in America, period, what she means. And we know with Barack Obama what he means. But he's emboldened enough because he don't feel like anything's going to happen to him. Now, Dana White came out and kind of rebuked him for saying that. But it's got to be more than that, man. I didn't rock with the UFC anyway. I don't rock with Dana White anyway. But I damn sure ain't going to rock with them now. Because that's a very dangerous thing to say. It's a very disrespectful thing to say. Because not only did Josh Hokett, did he offend Michelle Obama and Barack Obama, he offended her family. He offended Barack's family. He offended an entire race and community of people that look up to Michelle Obama, because we know what Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, what they signify. They signify hope, aspirations, positivity in the black community here in America. But he said that, laughed it off like it's funny. But Dana White, we need more than just words, man. We need more than just words. Because he was where Barack Obama resided as the first black president in America, where Michelle Obama resided as the first black first lady of America. He was on that property saying that disrespectful, weak stuff. And it's horrible. And I'm so tired of the disrespect, man. I really am. I ain't gonna never watch you fight again, dog. I mean, not again. I've never watched you fight. I damn sure ain't gonna never watch you. All praises to the Most High.
So in a post-fight interview with Joe Rogan, a UFC fighter, Josh Hokett, ended his remarks statements by basically calling Michelle Obama a man. Y'all, these are not random events. This is all by design. This reminds me when Drake was just rapping and was like, Serena, side note, your husband's a groupie. Because he had no real reason to say anything about the Obamas, but he decided to say something about them out of nowhere. Let me tell you something. It sucks having the Obamas as president because of who they represented, us. The biggest issue is that the black community looks up to the Obamas so much. So the problem now is that they're always going to use the Obamas as a way of insult towards the black community. Think about this. The Obamas barely even come out. They barely say anything. You think the Obamas don't want to come out and say how they feel about all the insults they've been getting over the years? But when you're at that level, it's like they gave them the power and said, okay, now that you're out the White House, we get to say whatever we want about you, and there's nothing you could do about it. Think about it. If the Obamas came out and decided to respond to all these insults they've been getting over the years and lash out, now they would say, now the Republican Party or, the racist people would be like, oh, look at them. That's why they're animals. They're this, they're that. No other presidents have to deal with this much public disrespect, no matter what they did. No matter if what Bill Clinton did, no matter what they did, nobody gets this much disrespect other than the Obamas. They gave them all that power, and now all they do is continuously throw shade at them, continuously say racist remarks, and they know how much we look up to them, and they use it as a way to put us down consistently. This was the first professional sporting event at a residential residence at the White House, and they used it as a way to disrespect the black culture, to disrespect the Obamas as a way to put us down as a society of black people. Like, that's what they did. It wasn't by accident.
Decided it was the best time to insult the former first lady of this country.